Good day, students. Servan here, and today we will going to learn another math lesson. Yesterday we discussed about adding and subtracting fractions, and today we will going to continue our lesson in multiplying and dividing fractions. The question is, are you ready? Okay, now let's start. By the way, these are the things that we're going to learn for this day. Number one, we will going to learn how to multiply simple fractions, multiplication of fractions and mixed number. We will going also to learn how to multiply mixed numbers, and lastly, we will going to learn how to divide fractions and mixed number. Okay, now let's try this practice. Let's try this one. Let's multiply 7 over 15 times 3 over 12. Okay, so in multiplying fractions, it's very easy compared to adding and subtracting fraction. Why? It's because when we multiply fraction, all we have to do is just to multiply our numerator and multiply our denominator. So it is just like saying top times top, bottom times bottom. And if our answer can still be simplified, then we will going to simplify our answer. Now let's try this one. Top times top, 7 times 3. The answer is 21, and 15 times 12. The answer here is 180. Now, this will be our final answer? I guess we can still simplify our answer by dividing this one by 3. Okay, so 21 divided by 3, that is 7. And 180 divided by 3, that is 60. Okay, since our answer is already in simplest form or in lowest term, this will be now our final answer. Okay, so let's start with the next one. We have 8 over 20 times 11 over 14. For this one, again, in multiplying fraction, top times top, bottom times bottom. Okay, now 8 times 11, that is 88, and 20 times 14, this one is 280. Now, this will be our final answer? I guess not yet. We can still simplify 88 and 280. Okay. So, for our final answer, we have 11 over 35. Okay, now let's continue. We have here multiplying mixed numbers. How do we multiply these fractions? Okay, now to answer this one, let's proceed to the next slide. So we have here 1 and 1/5 times 2 and 3, 8. Now for me, if I multiply fractions, I change first the fraction into improper fraction. Okay? So for me, I think that's the easiest process in multiplying, at the same time in adding and subtracting fractions. I change first the mixed number into improper fraction. Now, so let's try this one. So 5 times 1, that is 6, and 6 plus 1, that is 7. Okay, I'll just copy the denominator, 5. Okay, so for the second fraction, 8 times 2 plus 3. Okay, so we have here 6 over 5. Why I have here 6 over 5? I just multiply 5 times 1. It's still 5 plus 1, that is 6. 8 times 2, that is 16. 16 plus 3, the answer is 19. Okay, so since they are now in improper fraction, can you still remember how to multiply fractions? We do the top times top, bottom times bottom. Okay, so top times top, 6 times 19, and 5 times 8. So we have here the answer of 114 over 40. Okay, so notice our answer is still in improper fraction, so we're going to change this one or reduce this one. Okay, so for this one, I change this improper fraction into a mixed number, 2 and 34 over 40. For those who still confused why the answer for this one is 2 and 34 over 40, I just divide 114 divide it by 40. So 114 divided by 40, that is 2. 2 times 40, that is 80. Okay, and then I subtract. Bring down 4. 1 minus 8, that is cannot be, so we're going to borrow to 1. Okay, and the answer for this one, 11 minus 8 is 34. So to change this one into a mixed number, so 2 will become our whole number, 40 will be our denominator, and 34 will be our numerator. So that's why the answer for this one is 2 and 34 over 40. Okay, now the next question is this will be our final answer? Okay, now try to look at the fraction part. Is 34 over 40 can still be reduced in lowest term? The answer for this one is yes, we can still simplify 34 over 40 by dividing 34 and 40 into 2. Okay, so for this one, the answer is 2 and 17 over 20. I just divide the 34 divided by 2. The answer is 17. 40 divided by 2. The answer here is 20. So for our final answer, we have here 2 and 17 over 20. We cannot reduce 17 over 20 because 17 is already a prime number. Okay, now let's try to have another one. So I have here 2 and 2, 9 times 3 and 5, 8. Okay, so again for me, I prefer to change this first into improper fraction before I multiply. So let's change this mixed number into a improper fraction. Let's multiply 9 times 2, that is 9, 18. 18 plus 2, that is 20. So we have here 20 over 9. I just copy the denominator, 9. So for the second fraction, 8 times 3, 24 plus 5, that is 29. So after that one, I could now multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. For this one, 20 times 29, we have 580, and 9 times 8, the answer is 72. Okay, so since our answer is still in improper fraction, I'm going to divide 580 divided by 72. Okay, so for this one, the answer is 8 and 4 over 72. Okay, so you already know how to change improper fraction into mixed number. Just divide. Okay, and look at your fraction part. We have here 4 over 72. Is 4 and 72 can still be reduced into lowest term? The answer is yes, we can still reduce this one into lowest term by dividing 4 and 72 by 2. Okay, so for our final answer, we have 8 and 2 over 36. Okay, but still we can still simplify this one. Okay, by dividing 2 and 36 by 2 also. Okay, so that's how we multiply mixed number. So always remember, change first our mixed number into improper fraction, and once we already find the answer, change that improper fraction into a mixed number. Okay, so how about multiplying a fraction with a mixed number? How can we multiply a fraction into a mixed number? So let's try to have some example. Actually, they are just the same. Okay, so I'll just change this mixed number into improper fraction and multiply it to my fraction. Okay, so for this one, let's change 5 times 3. 5, 10, 15. 15 plus 4, that is 19. 19 over 5, multiply it by 3 over 6. So again, when multiplying fraction, multiply the numerator, and then multiply the denominator. Top times top, 19 times 3, bottom times bottom, 5 times 6. So we have here the answer, 57 over 30. Okay, since our answer is an improper fraction, we're going to change this one into a mixed number. So for our answer, we have here 1 and 27 over 30. Okay, so we can still simplify 27 and 30 by dividing them into 3. Okay, so we have here 1 and 9 over 10. So this will be now our final answer. Let's try to have more example. Let's try to answer this. 6 over 7 times 6 and 2/5. Okay, so change this one into improper fraction. 5 times 6, that's 30. 30 times 2 plus 2, that is 32. Just copy the denominator 5. So top times top, bottom times bottom. Okay, so 6 times 32, that is 192. And 7 times 5, that is 35. Simplify and change this one into mixed number. The answer is 5 and 17 over 35. So this will be now our final answer. Okay, so how about this one? This is multiplying, just multiplying a simple fraction. Top times top, 6 times 5, bottom times bottom. So 30 over 180, simplify 30 and 180. The answer is 1, 6. I just divide this one by 30. I also divide 180 into 30. That's why we have here 6. Okay, so how about this one? 8 over 15 times 2 and 3/5. Okay, I just copy the fraction 8 over 15 and change 2 and 3/5 into a mixed number. So that is 13 over 5. And we now multiply the top, then multiply the bottom. 8 times 13, that is 104. And 15 times 5, that is 75. Now this time, let us change this one into mixed number. And the answer for this one is 1 and 29 over 75. Okay, so can we change this fraction part into lowest term? So I guess there is no number that can divide 29 and 75. So this will be, I guess, our final answer. Okay, now this time, let's continue how to divide a fraction. Okay, so there are things that we need to remember in dividing fractions. Number 1, in dividing fractions, we need to put the second fraction in reciprocal. So always remember, only the second fraction will be put into reciprocal. Okay, but what does this reciprocal means? When we say reciprocal, it means switching the numerator and its denominator. So we're just switching them. And after we switch, after we change the second fraction into reciprocal, then we do the multiplication process. Okay, so let's try some examples. Divide 5 over 12 by 7 over 10. Okay, so again, from our reminders there, we need to change the second fraction here into reciprocal. Okay, so let's try some examples. Divide 5 over 12 by 7 over 10. Okay, so again, from our reminders there, we need to change the second fraction here into reciprocal.
3 reciprocal.
when we do the reciprocal, we just change or switch the numerator will go to the denominator, and the denominator will be our new numerator. So this is what happened. Okay, so we switch. 7 over 10 will become 10 over 7. So this is what we called reciprocal. So after we change this one into reciprocal, the next one is, after changing the second fraction into reciprocal, we need to do now the multiplication process. So let's now multiply. Okay, so 5, this should be multiplied. Okay, 5 times 10, that is 50, and 12 times 7, that is 84. Okay, question is, can we simplify 50 and 84? Yes. So let us simplify. The final answer for this one is 25 over 42. I just divide 50 and 84 by 2. Okay. Now, how about this one? 6 over 11 divided by 3 over 7. Okay, always remember that we put this second fraction into reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 3 over 7? Very good. The answer is 7 over 3. We just switch the numerator and the denominator. So after we switch the numerator and the denominator, go to multiplication process. We do now top times top, bottom times bottom. So 6 times 7, the answer here is 42. 11 times 3, the answer here is 33. Now, since our answer is an improper fraction, don't forget to change this one into a mixed number. So, for our final answer, we have here 1 and 9 over 33. But I guess I can still simplify 9 and 33 by dividing it into 9. Okay, so we have 1 and 3 over 11. Okay, let's have some more examples. This time, we are now dividing mixed numbers. So in dividing mixed numbers, okay, always remember that we change first this mixed number into improper fraction. Okay, so let us change 3 times 2. 3 times 2, that is 6. 6 plus 1, that is 7. By the way, after we change the second fraction into improper fractions, that's the time that we put it into reciprocal. So let us change first this fraction into improper fraction before we do the reciprocal to our second fraction. Okay, so 5 times 2, that is 10. 10 plus 3, that is 13. Okay, so after this one, we're going to do the reciprocal. Okay, so just copy 6 over 3 times the reciprocal of 13 over 5, that is 5 over 13. And we do now the multiplication process. So 6 times 5, that answer is 30, and 3 times 13, the answer here is 39. So after this one, don't forget to simplify your answer. So I'll just divide this one by 3. So the final answer is 10 over 13. Okay, so always remember that knowledge is power. Okay, so I guess that's it. That is how we multiply and we divide our fraction. If you have any questions, don't forget to write your question in the comment section below. Thank you again for listening, and I hope to see you next time.